What's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how Pierre Bourne flipped a 90s R&B sample and turned it into a Drake song. And so this video is kind of weird because I feel like the whole video, the beat's like on the upper side of mid until the very end where I actually flip it off camera. But I keep everything the exact same pretty much, so you can still pick up some valuable stuff. But if you're just here to hear the final beat, I'll play it at the very end, so you can skip to that. But thank you for the support, and let's get into this video. Alright, so obviously the first part in making a sample type beat is finding a sample. And so for this beat, I really just picked a song I knew. But usually the best way of finding samples, in my opinion, is just going into YouTube and literally just searching for what you want. And then you can just find a playlist usually about it and just scroll through that. And then another underrated way I see is Spotify. Just do the exact same thing. But anyway, so I picked this song by TLC. It's called Creep. So what I did is I just took the intro. And the thing was, in the original song, they have some vocals in the intro that I was having a super hard time getting rid of. So I just found like an instrumental version of it, and I'm using that as the main loop. Pretty much the exact same as how it normally is, just I pitched it down, and then I chopped it a little bit. And so right here, I just have the first 2 bars playing, and then right here, I have the whole like 4-bar loop playing. And towards the end, I just chop it a little bit more, just because the drums kick in right there, and I don't want any like drums in my sample. And so it sounds like this. And so if you look, I also already have some of my drums in. And the reason I do that is I always just get like a simple clap and hi-hat pattern in first, because the metronome usually isn't enough for me to tell if something's on time or not. So I do this just to make sure it's like on time perfectly. The effects I put on the main melody, I'll show you what it sounds like without the effects first. Obviously a lot more full and way more clean. I really just didn't want that vibe. Like, it sounds better like that probably, but I just didn't want that for this particular beat. I wanted it to sound kind of dirty and like super old. I of course needed to clean up the 808 too, so I just put like a really harsh EQ on it first, and then next I put the compressor on it just to make it sound like more leveled. And then right here I put a reverb and a chorus and a delay on it, and those are all just effects to make it sound like better to me. And the delay was important because if you look right here, there's like actually like no audio clip playing, and so it would just be total silence and it would sound bad because it's like it would be so choppy just towards the end. So instead, to like fight that, I just put a delay and reverb on it to make it like actually have noise right there still. And then I put a vinyl on it just for some detune, and I didn't use this last EQ. The next thing I did was I took the original song and I just found this little like vocal chop part that I chopped up. And I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet. I think I may use it for the intro or something, but I'll get into that whenever I do the arrangement of the beat. And so let's get into these drums now. I think I'm going to keep the hi-hats pretty much like that, because Pierre Bourne is like notorious for having over-the-top simple drums. Just get it simple and repetitive, so it's just super bouncy and catchy. And I'll probably just honestly copy this exact thing over and then add some like another roll or something to make it sound different right here. Just like that, that's good. Another thing to note is that usually you'll see like hi-hat patterns, they won't be this full. It'll be like 2-step. And the reason it's so like busy is because if you look, I'm in 86 BPM, and that's obviously way too slow for a Pierre Bourne type beat. So to fix that, I put it in double time, which means I just have my clap hitting on the 2 and the 4. Then my hi-hat's hitting every step instead of every 2 steps. That's what you do if you have like a slow sample but you want it to sound fast. You just double time it. And so for the clap, I'm probably going to keep it the same, but I'm going to add like another one right here. So like that, yeah. I'm going to talk about the sound selection a little bit real quick. It's pretty much he uses the same sounds on like 99% of beats. He just uses this basic hi-hat, but he uses a couple others. Just listen to what sounds good. And then he uses this clap in pretty much every beat ever. Then he uses the Z808 of course, and then the rat kick, the icy swat hi-hat, and then I just loaded up some snares and perks that I may use later. So let's get into the 808 though. And for this, it still follows the same rule, just simple but bouncy and just catchy. Probably do a similar pattern, but I kind of want this one to hit on the clap now. and then I'm just gonna copy this over and move it up here. Do it like that. Oh, never mind. I didn't even mean to do that, but that was fire. Actually, I usually don't do this. I'm gonna go a little crazy with this kick pattern. I didn't realize that it's not gonna fire. Alright, that's 5 for the kick. And then right here, I'm probably just gonna add this little open hat in. Alright, so this is the part where I was talking about in the intro, where I like flip the sample and it just makes the beat sound completely different. And so basically what I was doing is trying to like go arrange the beat. Like I wasn't even meaning to change anything really. First I wanted to just bounce all this out to audio because this is like a bunch of chops, so it would have been annoying to work with. So I just wanted like one audio clip to work with. And so I did that, and once I had it, I was just like, I want to see how it sounds like reverse, because I wasn't loving the beat. And I didn't really think much of it. I was like, I'm probably just not going to like it. But it just sounded, it like turned out sounding super crazy to me. And just that with like the drums, for some reason, like I feel like it just kind of blended two different styles together, because I feel like that's like a Drake type melody, but I did my drums like going for like a die-lit type of sound. So it just gave me like a really cool like two different styles that I would have never like tried before. Like if I would have just flipped this melody originally and reversed it, I definitely would have done the drums completely different. But I'm glad I didn't, because I have like really unique drums on a sample that like typically you would never hear those drums on. So this is something I'm going to start trying a lot more. I'm going to flip my samples at the very end to making a beat, even if I'm satisfied with it, just to experiment and see what I like. And so I suggest you do the same, because it's like really made this beat from something mid that I was just going to post for like content and just stay consistent to like a beat I'm really proud of. And so try stuff out, be creative, and just like don't like box yourself in when you're making beats. Alright, so I actually flipped the beat one more time. Like I know it's a lot, but this time all I did was if you can see that I finished my beat, like it was done. And so what I did is I exported it out to an audio, and then I brought it back into the project, and from there all I did was come here, turn this to resample, and then turn this to stretch, like click that stretch knob to be on, and then I just stretched it out a little bit. And so what that did is it pitched it down a little bit, and then it made it go slower. And so after I did all that, I really got like strong ASAP Rocky vibes from this beat. And the last thing I did was for the intro, I chopped another part of the beat, I made this part unique, and then I routed it back to the original mixer track. And what that did is it gave it like this super like underwater effect that just sounds like sick for an intro. Alright, just to like elaborate a little bit more about what I was saying, like keep trying stuff, like try stuff you typically wouldn't, and just like push limits when you make beats. Like the best beats I've made, I always feel like it's because I'm trying stuff I typically don't do, and I'm like implementing new styles and new techniques that I've like seen either in YouTube videos, or I'm combining techniques I've seen. Just always keep trying stuff and like pushing yourself as a producer until you keep getting better. But thank you for watching. I'm about to play the finished beat at the end. Go follow my socials if you can, they're in the description, and go subscribe to my other channel. That's where I'm gonna be posting my beats, and I really like need some support on that one. So if you can, go show some love. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.